Hey, welcome to Keight Krafts. I'm Keight. Today I would like to share with you a flat shaker card that I recently made for a birthday. Let's get started. So to kick things off, I have got a new to me Hero Arts bold print floral flower garden 6x6 red rubber stamp. I had gotten this from a recent trip to the United States. I went to Michigan, and I went to Scrappy Chic in Livonia, and then I headed over to Novi and went to Joann's and Hobby Lobby, and yeah, I ended up getting this from Hobby Lobby, and I'm not disappointed in the least. So after stamping out quite a few times, because I find that I need to really ink and stamp in ink and stamp with red rubber as opposed to photopolymer, I've gone ahead and stamped that out quite a few times, and then I'm taking the Lawn Fawn outside in stitched rectangle die and masking off where I want this die to cut. So I'll go ahead and tape that down so I can get an even cut, and then I'll go ahead and cut that off on screen. Now I'm going to be careful popping this out because I do find that I struggle a little bit with getting paper out of the outside in stitched rectangle die. And I use this die a lot. So we are going to do a little speed coloring here. I didn't speed this up at all so you can see how slow I color, but I did do cutscenes. So we've got the, I think that was the G05, and then we're going in with the G00 just to blend out that G05 into these leaves. And I'm just using a pink colored cardstock by Recollections. I'm not sure which one it is. It's just what I had. Next I've got a BV04 to add a little bit of shadow to some of these flowers. And then next I will go ahead and blend some of that out with the BV02. And then once I'm done with that color, then I will blend that one out with the BV000, as you can see here. Now, do I need all these colors? Probably not, but I was in a coloring mood, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you how slow I color. This is the R85, and then I will go in with the R81. Now, I think coloring takes up most of my card making time. If I'm doing a piece where there's a lot of coloring, I could spend quite a few minutes doing this. And I happen to like doing this. I like coloring. There's something satisfying about it, especially with the alcohol markers. Again, this one is the... Oh, wait, is this one? Yeah, this one's the R81. It's kind of hard to see. But I really like the R80 markers. No, this one's the R81. That one was the R85, I think. Don't quote me on it. It's hard to see on my screen right now. And then I'm going back in with the G00 just to kind of give it a little bit of extra color. Now I really like how these colors showed up on this pink cardstock. I could have done white, but this was more of a feminine one. So we're going to speed this up a little bit, and I have got some packaging from, I don't know, a 12x12 paper pack, I think it was, or something I got from the dollar store. I don't know. I like to hoard stuff, especially packaging like this, because I do like shaker cards. I mean, I don't make enough flat shaker cards, but I love shaker cards. And all I've done here is I've trimmed out what I'm going to need for my shaker card, and I've got it a little bit bigger than my panel here that I'm working on. I think this is like 4 by 5 1/4 or something like that. I can't think of the measurements of the outside in stitched rectangle dies, but this will leave a border around the outside of my panel here. So all I've done is I've taken some tape runner and I'm sticking down the cellophane wrapping around the panel here as secure as possible. You don't want to do this too tight because you want to make sure that you have enough room so that way you can add in your little shaker elements. Now, I don't do any bulky elements when I'm doing flat shakers. I tend to go for the flat pieces without any dimension. But what would this not be with a big happy birthday sentiment? Again, I'm going in to show you how slow I color. And I'm taking the BB04 marker and just doing upward flicking motions because these letters are going to be like a little bit of a gradient, I guess you could say. So again, I'm blending that out, the BV04 with the BV000, or maybe, yeah, was it the BV02? I don't know, it's hard to see on the screen. Anyway, I'm using the same markers as I did on the background panel. I'm just doing a flicking motion up with the dark color, and then I'm going to go back in with the lightest color, and I'm just going to blend that out nice and even. Now, once I was done with blending all this out, I didn't quite like the gradient of it because it hadn't fully dried yet, and I'm impatient. So I decide that in order to kind of give the illusion of all of this blending cohesively, I am going to pull out my Wink of Stella. I cannot stress enough how much I enjoy using the Wink of Stella, as well as my secure jelly roll pen in Stardust. I like the glitter. The glitter is lovely, especially on cards. The only problem is I'm always worried about squeezing them too hard. What do you call it? The Wink of Stella. And I'm ruining my projects. Because I've done that before. Like, it's kind of dried up a little bit, and you gotta give it a little bit of a squeeze to get the juices flowing. And I've squeezed a little too hard in the past, and then blobbed a huge dollop of glitter liquid all over my project, and it was kind of sad. So I tend to caution on the side of error. And I do that kind of off to the side and away from my project. Sorry, I'm in a mood today. You'll have to forgive me. So once I am satisfied with the amount of glitter that I have gone over my project with, I'll give you a quick show here in a minute just so you can see. And look at that. Wow. I love how that ties in together with the pinks and the purples. Now, to make this a little more dimensional, I'm giving myself an outline of the Happy Birthday die by the Lawn Fawn. And then I'm going to take some of my big, thick score tape. I'm running low on this. I love this. I can't recommend it enough that if you're going to get some score tape and you want to make your own little stickers for embellishments, get the thick, or I should say the wide kind, not the thick kind. You want the wide kind because that's just, it's magic. I love it. It's like getting double-sided adhesive sheets but without the commitment of a full sheet. You just get a huge roll of it. So I've gone ahead and taped it at the back, and then I'm die cutted it with the Happy Birthday. And as careful as I absolutely tried to be with not pulling off the release tape to the back of this Happy Birthday before I could pop it out of the die, I failed at it. So I'm trying very carefully not to get the little inside bits stuck to the actual cutout itself. So I'm just using my fingers here and picking them out and plopping on the sticky ones onto my hand so I could just pick those off later and throw them in the garbage. And because I don't know where my pokey tool is, I'm using a pencil to pop some stuff out because that's kind of what you gotta do sometimes when you don't know where your tools are and you're kind of crafting on the fly and in the thick of things. And yeah, so once I've got that all taken care of, I'm going to garbage pick for a second here, and I'm going to pull out some leftover release tape from a sticker project that I recently did. I've got a market coming up, and I wanted to doodle a couple of critters and put them into sticker form, and this was just the release tape paper for the overlay that I did for the stickers. So I'm just going to take that and stick it down, and then I'm going to add some glue to the back side of the pink cardstock that I colored all over, and then that way I can glue them onto the white, and it'll give me like a white shadow die, and I find that it really makes the letters pop. I could have gone with black, but I thought black might have been a little too harsh because I did use the black ink for the background stamp there that I'd colored in, but I didn't want it to be too harsh. I wanted it to be bright and cheery, and that's why I went with the white. So I'll put a brick on that, and then I'll come back through the magic of movie making, and I will take this off the release tape paper, and then I'll stand up above it, get everything lined up the way I need it to be, and then kind of give myself an eyeball of where I need to go with it. And then once I'm happy, I'll give it a good mash down. And then it's time to add some shaker elements. So I've got a bag, a huge Ziploc bag full of Recollection brand shaker elements. I hit up Michael's quite a few years ago and got a whole box of these little pouches of different types of sequin mixes and stuff like that. And I swear, I've got embellishments like this up the wazoo that will last me thousands and thousands and thousands of shaker cards. I think if I ever run out of ideas to do, I could do an entire series on different shaker card elements, and I'd probably be 92 by the time I was done. And yeah, I've got a lot of shaker bit elements, and yeah, it's I love them. They're fun, and it's another collection I have. So I've gone ahead and taped that bit down, and I'm giving it a good shake to make sure I got some room. Now I've taken some of this I don't know what it's called. It's like a foil paper, and it's like a light purple. I'd gotten it from the dollar store one of my last visits, and I thought this would be perfect to tie in with the BV markers and give it a little pop of purple off the back of the pink, because pink and purple, why not? So once I've got that all lined up, my card is complete. It says happy birthday on the front, and when you open it up, I hope your day is filled with happiness. And here you have my finished card. I hope you enjoyed today's program, and as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.